As a fan, it can be difficult to imagine some of your favorite celebrities being hated by anyone. But truth be told, the entertainment industry is full of drama, and there is always something going on, which is likely to cause some friction among celebrities, which goes beyond the glamorous lifestyle that we see on television. Jennifer Lopez seems to have particularly made some really interesting enemies over the years, and might have given almost everyone she has had some collaboration with a reason to hate her. The list just keeps growing, and here are some of the reasons why some celebrities probably want nothing to do with Lopez. To begin with, we have the age-old beef she has with her former makeup artist, Scott Barnes. Initially, the two seemed to work really well together, but they have found themselves in very awkward positions over the years. The feud between Jennifer Lopez and her former makeup artist, Scott Barnes, began when Lopez accused Barnes of leaking personal information about her wedding to Ben Affleck. Lopez believed that Barnes had disclosed confidential details about her wedding look, including her dress and makeup, which she wanted to keep private until the ceremony. This perceived betrayal severely strained their professional and personal relationship. However, it was later discovered that Barnes had nothing to do with the leak. Despite his innocence, the damage to his reputation in the industry and their relationship was already done. Scott remains angry about the false accusation, and their previously close bond could not be repaired. To this day, the fallout from the misunderstanding has left a lasting impact, with Lopez and Barnes no longer working together. Lopez sure owes the man an apology. Speaking of apology, Ashanti falls on the list of people that Jennifer owes one to, due to their strained relationship that's based on J.Lo's negligence. Jennifer Lopez's strained relationship with Ashanti stems from Lopez's failure to acknowledge Ashanti's contributions to two of her hit songs, Ain't It Funny and I'm Real. During the early 2000s, these tracks were significant hits for Lopez, but the public was largely unaware of Ashanti's involvement in their creation. Ashanti, who was an up-and-coming artist at the time, wrote and provided background vocals for these songs. Despite her significant contributions, she received little recognition, as the spotlight remained primarily on Lopez. This lack of acknowledgement from Lopez not only created tension between the two artists, but also hindered Ashanti's growth in the industry. Being credited properly could have bolstered Ashanti's career, providing her with greater exposure and more opportunities. The issue simmered for years until Ashanti finally spoke up about it. In various interviews, she expressed her frustration over not being credited and recognized for her work. This public revelation shed light on the behind-the-scenes dynamics of the music industry, where songwriters and background vocalists often go unrecognized. The strained relationship between Lopez and Ashanti underscores broader issues within the music industry regarding credit and recognition. While Lopez continued to enjoy her celebrity status, Ashanti's contributions to these iconic tracks remained overshadowed. This dynamic has left a lasting impact on their professional relationship, and no one is sure Ashanti has ever come around to completely forgive her, given the pain she must have felt all those years. Turns out Lopez also faced a similar accusation with Usher, who had accused her of taking his creative work without permission. Jennifer Lopez's professional relationship with Usher also experienced tension due to issues of acknowledgement and credit in the music industry. The specific case revolves around the song Get Right, which was a hit for Lopez in 2005. The original version of the song, titled Ride, was recorded by Usher and included in the promotional materials for his 2004 album Confessions. However, Ride did not make it onto the final album, and the song was later reworked and given to Lopez without Usher's permission. Usher's original recording of Ride showcased his distinctive style and vocal performance, but when the track was revamped for Lopez, the contributions of Usher were not prominently highlighted. Although the track was re-recorded and featured Lopez's vocals, the foundation laid by Usher was critical to the song's success. The failure to adequately credit Usher for his work on the original track led to disappointment and frustration. Usher eventually spoke out about the situation, expressing his dissatisfaction with not being properly acknowledged for his contributions. This revelation brought to light the common practice in the music industry where the efforts of initial contributors can be overshadowed or overlooked when a song is re-recorded by a more prominent artist. The case with Usher is similar to the situation with Ashanti, where Lopez's lack of recognition for key collaborators created friction. These instances underscore the importance of transparency and proper credit in the music industry, highlighting how failing to recognize contributors can lead to strained relationships and feelings of unfairness. While Lopez's career continued to thrive, these controversies revealed the complexities and challenges within collaborative creative processes. Usher vowed to have nothing to do with J.Lo as a result. J.Lo's producer, who was Rick Harrison at the time, was also drawn into the issue. Rick later moved on to become one of the faces behind the popular show Pawn Stars. Still on the feud J.Lo has with her fellow artists, we also have Mariah Carey. The feud between Mariah Carey and Jennifer Lopez, often referred to as one of the most infamous rivalries in pop music, began around the early 2000s. The tension initially sparked over a clash in their music release dates. In 2001, Mariah Carey was preparing to release her single Loverboy from the soundtrack of her movie Glitter. Around the same time, Jennifer Lopez released her single I'm Real, which used a sample that Carey had originally intended for Loverboy. This move was seen by many as an attempt to undermine Carey's release. Carey has hinted in various interviews that the situation was orchestrated by her then-husband and Sony music head, Tommy Mottola, with whom she had a contentious relationship following their divorce. Carey implied that Mottola used Lopez to sabotage her comeback efforts, adding fuel to the rivalry. The feud was famously encapsulated in Carey's now iconic response when asked about Lopez during an interview, "I don't know her." This dismissive remark underscored the animosity and lack of mutual respect between the two stars. Over the years, Carey and Lopez have both maintained their stances, with Carey occasionally making veiled references to the feud in interviews, and Lopez downplaying any significant issues between them. This rivalry has created a lasting divide, making it unlikely that Carey and Lopez would find common ground. Their careers, characterized by distinct styles and fan bases, have remained separate, with the feud becoming a defining narrative in pop culture. The ongoing tension exemplifies the competitive nature of the music industry and the personal conflicts that can arise from it. This feud between Mariah and Lopez seemed to have fueled the rivalry between her and Brandy Norwood. The strained relationship between Brandy Norwood and Jennifer Lopez is rooted in professional jealousy and competition, similar to Lopez's more publicized feud with Mariah Carey. The tension between Brandy and Lopez primarily centers on the music industry, where both have sought to establish their dominance and influence. The conflict can be traced back to the late 1990s and early 2000s, a period when both artists were at pivotal points in their careers. Brandy, a successful R&B singer and actress, reportedly felt overshadowed by Lopez's rapid rise in both the music and film industries. This period saw Lopez transition from a dancer and actress to a global music star, a trajectory that Brandy might have seen as encroaching on her territory. Compounding the tension, Brandy's affiliation with Mariah Carey added another layer to the strained relationship. Carey, who had her own feud with Lopez over the infamous sample issue and other competitive dynamics, likely influenced Brandy's perception of Lopez. Brandy, who has expressed admiration for Carey, might have felt a sense of loyalty that further fueled her wariness of Lopez. Moreover, both Brandy and Lopez have roots in R&B and pop, making them natural competitors. The music industry often pits female artists against each other, amplifying any existing tensions. Instances where Brandy might have felt Lopez received preferential treatment or more significant opportunities could have deepened the rift. While there haven't been highly publicized altercations between Brandy and Lopez, the underlying professional rivalry and connections to the Lopez-Carey feud have contributed to a strained and distant relationship. This dynamic underscores the competitive pressures female artists face in the entertainment industry and how alliances and rivalries can shape their careers and interactions. Also on the list of Lopez's indiscretion is Madonna. The feud between Madonna and Jennifer Lopez in the late 1990s began when Lopez made some candid comments during an interview. In a 1998 Movie Line interview, Lopez made several remarks about her peers, including Madonna. She questioned Madonna's acting skills and questioned the place of some female entertainers in the industry. This comment did not sit well with Madonna, who has a long history in both music and film. The tension escalated as both stars exchanged subtle digs through the media. Madonna, known for her sharp wit, responded in interviews with veiled remarks that hinted at her displeasure with Lopez's comments. While there were no direct confrontations, the back and forth played out in the press, creating a public narrative of animosity. Despite the initial tension, the two eventually moved past their differences. By the early 2000s, any visible animosity had subsided. They even attended some of the same industry events without incident, signaling a thaw in their relationship. In 2015, they were photographed together at the Met Gala, suggesting that any lingering issues had been resolved. Though J.Lo and Madonna seem to have overgrown their beef, Jennifer still remains relentless and still seems to get on some nerves, as was evident in the case between her and Salma Hayek. Jennifer Lopez's demeaning comments about Salma Hayek in the late 90s reportedly stemmed from professional jealousy and competition in Hollywood. Lopez was rumored to be upset with Hayek over roles and recognition in the industry. During the early 2000s, Lopez's career faced significant challenges. Despite her initial success in music and acting, she experienced a slump with several of her movies receiving poor ratings. Films like Giggly Shot in 2003 were critically panned, earning notoriously low scores and contributing to her declining box office appeal. In contrast, Salma Hayek was enjoying a period of acclaim, notably with her Oscar-nominated performance in the 2002 movie Frida. Hayek's success highlighted the contrast between their career trajectories at the time, potentially fueling Lopez's frustrations and comments about Hayek. This professional rivalry seemed somewhat delusional for Lopez, given her own career struggles and public questioning of her talents at the time. Lopez's music career also faced difficulties, with some of her albums not performing as well as expected. Her ventures into different entertainment areas did not yield the same success she had previously enjoyed. This period of professional instability likely exacerbated her insecurities and contributed to the perceived feud with Hayek. Despite these challenges, Lopez eventually rebounded, reclaiming her status as a prominent entertainer through persistence and reinvention. She eventually apologized to Hayek for her unchecked comments, but there was no telling what damage it had already done to their relationship. Jennifer's relationship with her stepchildren's mother, Jennifer Garner, hasn't also been without dent over the years. The relationship between Jennifer Lopez and Jennifer Garner has been reportedly strained due to differing opinions about Ben Affleck's smoking habits. Garner, who was married to Affleck from 2005 to 2018, has been vocal about her concerns regarding his health and smoking. She has always prioritized a healthy environment for their 3 children, Violet, Serafina, and Samuel. Affleck's relationship with Lopez rekindled in 2021 after their initial engagement ended in 2004, bringing these concerns to the forefront again. After finalizing his divorce from Garner in 2018, Affleck and Lopez got back together and married in 2022. Garner's apprehensions about Affleck's smoking habits reportedly caused tension, as Lopez has a more relaxed attitude towards it, focusing instead on maintaining a supportive and loving environment. Despite these differences, both Lopez and Garner have made concerted efforts to co-parent amicably. Lopez has embraced a stepmother role, supporting Affleck in raising his children from his first marriage. The families have been seen together on various occasions, reflecting their commitment to ensuring a stable and nurturing environment for the kids. While the smoking issue remains a point of contention, both Lopez and Garner prioritize the well-being of the children, striving to maintain a respectful relationship for their sake. Among all the friction that Lopez has had with people over the years, none seems to beat the friction that she has with Howard Stern. Howard Stern, the outspoken radio personality, has had a contentious relationship with Jennifer Lopez, often criticizing her for what he perceives as self-promotion rather than genuine talent evaluation during her tenure as a judge on American Idol. Stern has accused Lopez of leveraging her position on the show to advance her own career and public image, rather than focusing on the contestants and their development. One of Stern's main criticisms is that Lopez used the platform to showcase her own music and performances, which he felt detracted from the primary purpose of the show, which is discovering and nurturing new talent. He argued that Lopez's presence on American Idol was more about maintaining her relevance in the entertainment industry than providing constructive feedback to aspiring singers. Stern's remarks often highlighted his belief that Lopez's priorities were misaligned with the show's mission. In addition to his critiques about her judging, Stern has also expressed distaste for Lopez's music. He has openly dismissed some of her songs as lacking substance and artistic merit, pointing out what he sees as a reliance on image and production rather than genuine musical talent. For example, Stern has made derogatory comments about hits like Jenny from the Block, suggesting that her success is more attributable to her celebrity status and media presence than her musical abilities. These criticisms from Stern have contributed to a strained relationship between the two, with Stern positioning himself as a vocal detractor of Lopez's career and approach to her roles in the entertainment industry. Despite his harsh words, Lopez has continued to thrive and has only made conscious efforts to avoid Stern on every occasion. There is no end in sight for the feud between the two. And just like Stern, Eva Mendes seems to also have a major problem with the way J.Lo conducts her activities. Eva Mendes has expressed reservations about Jennifer Lopez, stemming from her perception of Lopez's career and public persona. Mendes, who has often been compared to Lopez due to their shared Latina heritage and similar career paths, reportedly does not view Lopez as an ideal role model. Mendes's criticisms center on the notion that Lopez prioritizes fame and image over substance and authenticity. Mendes believes that a role model should exhibit humility, dedication to craft, and a focus on meaningful work rather than constant self-promotion. She has subtly suggested that Lopez's approach, which often includes high-profile relationships, headline-grabbing performances, and a strong emphasis on personal branding, does not align with these values. Mendes values a more understated and grounded approach to her career, favoring roles that challenge her artistically over those that merely enhance her celebrity status. Furthermore, Mendes has expressed discomfort with the way Lopez has navigated her career, particularly in the context of representation. While Lopez is celebrated for breaking barriers for Latina actresses and musicians, Mendes feels that her methods sometimes reinforce stereotypes rather than dismantle them. She is concerned that Lopez's focus on glamour and spectacle might overshadow the need for genuine, diverse representation in Hollywood. This perspective from Mendes highlights a broader debate within the industry about the role of celebrities and the responsibilities of public figures. While Lopez has undoubtedly achieved remarkable success and paved the way for many, Mendes's reservations reflect a desire for role models who embody a different set of values, focusing on depth, artistry, and authentic representation over celebrity allure. J.Lo's reputation as being overambitious also extends to her relationship with Rosie Perez, with whom she had started her career as an entertainer. The friction between Rosie Perez and Jennifer Lopez dates back to their early careers when both were dancers on the television show In Living Color in the early 1990s. Rosie Perez, who served as the show's choreographer, initially helped Lopez secure a spot as a fly girl dancer. However, tensions quickly arose due to Lopez's ambition and perceived attitude. Perez has recounted in her memoir, Handbook for an Unpredictable Life, that Lopez was determined to stand out and often clashed with her and other dancers. According to Perez, Lopez's ambitious nature sometimes translated into perceived arrogance and disrespect, creating a challenging working environment. Perez described instances where Lopez allegedly defied her choreography directions and sought to position herself at the center of attention, leading to conflicts. This early tension set the tone for their strained relationship over the years. Perez has publicly addressed the friction, implying that Lopez's drive to succeed came at the expense of professional relationships. Lopez, on the other hand, has generally refrained from commenting extensively on their issues, focusing instead on her career growth. The lasting impact of their early clashes is evident in the lack of collaboration or public interaction between the two. Despite both achieving significant success in their respective fields, they have maintained a noticeable distance. This ongoing strain underscores how early career conflicts can leave enduring marks on professional relationships, shaping interactions and perceptions long after the initial disputes. The list goes on and on. It seems J.Lo isn't just that great at maintaining her personal relationships with other celebrities. We would love to know your thoughts on the matter, so we will be in the comments. See you in the next video.